What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mr. Cheap Sense here, and it is early morning. I think it's like 8 something, maybe close to 9, and just laying around chilling. And I decided that I was gonna go ahead. I had a subscriber ask me a little while back about some fragrances that I did reviews on a while back, but they wanted to know a little bit more about these fragrances because when I talked about them, I just said, you know, what I thought about them, initial first impression, and what my favorites were. And I don't really see a lot of people talking about this house in particular, mainly probably because it's one of those inexpensive fragrance houses, and nobody really dabbled in them a little bit. So I was intrigued by them when I first started getting into fragrances. We had a Perfume World store in our local mall that's sadly closed down now. I bought these 3 specific fragrances from them because when I smelled them, for one, the bottles kind of reminded me of like Tom Ford bottles. And then when I actually got into the scent, the smell of them, I fell in love with them. And I kind of feel like I paid a little too much at the time, but as time went on and I bought the other 2 fragrances compared to the first one, I learned a little bit more and I didn't get cheated, quote unquote. But before I go any further, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please make sure you do so. Ring the bell for notifications. Icon will open up above the bell. Make sure you hit all so you get all content uploaded through this channel. Also, like the video, thumbs up, share the video, and be active in the comment section. With that being said, let's move on. Now, I did write down the notes, and the websites that I used, a lot of them didn't have a lot of notes. Some of the websites I saw, they just gave a few main notes or key notes, but I got what I could, and if you want to do more research about these fragrances, then feel free to do so. The first one I want to talk about, and I am going to give examples of what these fragrances are similar to. So if you don't have any of the ones that are similar to these fragrances, then definitely pick these up for a decent price. I will tell you what the price range you should be looking for to get these, but they are good, they perform, they last, and you'll see. So first up, we're going to talk about Imperial Number 8. This is what the bottle looks like. It's blacked out, but you can see through the bottle if you hold it to the light. So you can see the juice inside, the juice level. The boxes are pretty nice, but I threw all of those away. I don't particularly keep boxes. I have so much stuff, and I don't have room to store fragrances in one section and boxes in another. If I was in a house or something like that, then yeah, I would keep them, but I don't have room. So a lot of boxes I don't keep. I just keep the ones that I like in particular. But this is Imperial Number 8. They're not really particularly hard to find online. You just type in the name of the fragrance, and sometimes they'll pop up easy. Sometimes you have to click on several different sites to be able to get a lot of information on them. But this one, you want to know what this is in the same vein of fragrances like Valentino Uomo Intense, and I want to be sure, yeah, this is the Intense version. Yeah, it kind of puts you in the mind frame of something like this. It has that iris note, that kind of powdery, sophisticated. You don't wear this everywhere. Maybe if you're going to church or a wedding or like a power suit type meeting, I see people like CEOs and bosses wearing stuff like this. You have to be dressed up, suit and tie, kind of casual. You can actually wear this on a date if you really want to impress somebody, but don't do a lot of sprays of it because it is kind of powerful. But this is actually what Imperial Number 8 kind of reminds me of. Also fragrances like La Nuit de l'Homme. Even though this doesn't have that powdery aspect to it like this does, it's still sophisticated and sexy like La Nuit de l'Homme. But if you really want to know what this is similar to, it actually, like I said, is more closer to Valentino Uomo Intense. So if you don't have something like this or like this vein in your collection, then definitely pick this one up. Now, let's talk price. Price point on these vary. Online, I've seen these go upwards to 70, 80, maybe 90 bucks. You can find these for 30 some odd dollars, 40 and the $50 range. If you can get it around the 30 some odd dollar range, I think I've also seen this like the high 20s, like close to 30. If you can get it for around maybe the 30 something dollar mark, I think that would be perfect. Anything above 45, I think is too much for this particular fragrance. Now, like I said, they do perform. These are beast mode fragrances, I promise you. When I don't think I wore this one yet, but the other two I have. The other two, I got 8+ hours without reapplication, and one of them in particular I'm going to get to in a few minutes is my absolute beast when it comes to compliments. And I'll tell you about that. I already have, I think, 1 or 2 videos about that particular one, but this one is nice. It's very nice. I like it. I do want to give it some wearing, but right now it's probably starting to get a little bit too warm outside here in Georgia to be wearing something like this, because it can get kind of cloying, not the sweet kind of cloying, but that powdery aspect of it. It can be too much at times if you over apply. Number 8, Imperial Number 8, the one I'm just talking about, it actually was released in 2007, so the website said, and it is, all 3 of these are EDP concentration. Number 8 has notes of vanilla, iris, amber, and musk. Very, very, very nice fragrance. If you don't have this in your collection, at least try and find something that smells similar to it. Like I said, Valentino Uomo Intense is as close as I can get right now from what I put my nose on, what this is close to. Not a bad fragrance. I think you should at least try and find something similar to it. Get your nose on it, and if you like that particular fragrance, purchase that one. If not, this one is worth a try. Next up, I'm going to do this one last. I'm going to go ahead to this next one. So this one is Imperial Number 4, and the whole collection is called Collection Privee Paris. This is also EDP, Eau de Parfum, however you want to say it, concentration. And I like this bottle. It's nice. All of them have that lion on the front. This one is more of a freshie. And I know a lot of people don't like freshy type fragrances. I don't mind. Some certain fragrances in the summertime just don't perform. Aquatics and stuff like that. And I think this is fresh. It's very mass appealing. I like it. When I first got it, I wore it a few times, and I did get compliments, but not as much as I did with the last one I'm going to show. This one is a lot smoother than the fragrance that I'm about to show you. It's more refined. than the one I'm about to show you. I love the scent of this, but this puts you in the mind frame of fragrances like Lacoste L1212 Blanche or Pure White or however you want to call it. It's in that kind of vein. That fresh, clean, citrusy type fragrance. Both of these are nice, but I think this one is a little nicer in my personal opinion. I love L1212 Pure Blanche or White or whatever you want to call it better than any of the other fragrances from that particular line. But this is nice. It is well blended. The atomizer on all of them are nice. That is so crisp and clean and fresh and inviting. And you will spray this on and walk into a room and people are going to notice you. I promise you. This line, I don't know why people aren't talking about this particular type, this line of fragrance. They're nice in my opinion. I like them. To me, personally, they're more of a wow type fragrance than anything I've shown you so far. I know a lot of people don't really deal with Valentino Uomo Intense because of the iris and it's more powdery and stuff like that, but I don't mind. But this is very nice. Now, the notes on this one, it says this was released in 2017. It could have been, I think I remember purchasing it around that time because I've only been in this game maybe a little over a year. So it might have. This can be considered unisex. It said it's day or nighttime type fragrance. I wouldn't recommend wearing this in cold weather. I don't think it will perform too well in the extreme cold. It actually has, it says remnants of Tom Ford's Costa Azzurra. And I don't think I've smelled Costa Azzurra, but if it's considered to be remnants of a Tom Ford fragrance, then it can't be bad. A lot of Tom Ford stuff is pretty good from what I've smelled so far, but it says it has like a saltwater beach vibe, dried plants and woods. Very nice fragrance. Very, very nice. The number 8, more nighttime. You can wear this in the daytime, but like I said, you would have to be inside an office or something like that, and you can't go too many sprays on this one. This also can be worn nighttime in cooler weather. So now, last but not least is hands down my favorite, just because of the reactions I got. Now, there's a young lady I was dealing with some time back. I actually did a video with her, and for some reason the video didn't upload, and I ended up having to delete it, and we never got around to doing another one. But I did go to her job one day. I got kind of fresh. I think I was going to pick up my kids or do something with my kids in the next city over, which was Savannah, Georgia, about 45 minutes from where I live. So I popped up at this chick's job, and I had this on. And as soon as I walked into the building, this is Imperial Number 1. As soon as I walked into the building, all of her coworkers noticed how good I was smelling, and they was ranting and raving and going on, carrying on, and I was getting a kick out of it because, number one, I don't care what anybody says. When you get responses, reactions, compliments from wearing a fragrance, or how you dressed, or how you know what I'm saying, how you're presenting yourself, there's no way that you're just gonna just go about your business and not feel good about yourself or what just happened or transpired. Anytime I get a compliment from a fragrance, that's a plus for me. But that's just my personal opinion. Other people have ways they deal with stuff, so it is what it is. But this one is nice. Now, this one is gonna be a little bit harder to put into a category because the note breakdown is kind of different. But what I get from it, it puts me in the mind frame of Dior Sauvage, to be honest. Yeah, it is definitely in that same vein. I'm not saying that they smell alike. I'm just saying that they have that same similar type vibe. There's no ambroxan in this fragrance, but you do get that kind of similarity of it. This is a nice fragrance. This one is for all occasions. Honestly, I don't see this one performing too well in the cold, but who's to say? You can wear whatever you want to wear when you want to wear it. This one has top notes of overgrown machachi or oak, as it said, heart notes, juniper, herbs and grass, base notes, green notes, oak, and sandalwood. That's the note breakdown I got, and it didn't say when this one in particular was released. Trust me when I say these three in particular, I haven't seen or purchased anything else, but these particular three are amazing fragrances. I wish I could get my hands on more of these, but for the time being, I love having these in my collection. I haven't worn these in a while. I need to get back to it, but my focus is on a career right now, and fragrances do help, especially going to interviews, especially if you dress the part. A nice, good fragrance that's not overpowering and somebody smelling it, they're gonna love it. So check these three out. I'm not telling anybody to go out and purchase these. I'm just saying if you can get your nose on them, get your nose on them. Visit one of those. You're not gonna find these at like Nordstrom's or Sephora or anything like that. You have to visit those like Indian, I guess, type stores, like in the mall type stores, the little off-brand type places. You might be able to find those in there. I know if you have something called Perfume World or something in your local mall or something, try one of those stores. But for the most part, these fragrances are excellent fragrances. They are, like I said before, all EDP, eau de parfum concentration, or parfum. I know some people get blown out of proportion when you say the word wrong, but they're all really, really good fragrances. I do highly recommend them. That's about all I have to say about these particular fragrances, man. So here is two smelling good. I'm out. Peace.